Tonight's episode of World Premiere Word on the Streets is brought to you by GLP-1 XLR8 from Snappy Scripts, the supplement that's changing the game for hunger, metabolism, and weight loss support. If you're serious about losing weight and doing it with a product that works naturally with your body, look no further. GLP-1 XLR8 is an expert-led formula packed with 2.6 billion AFU live probiotics and postbiotics, plus powerhouse botanicals like Akkermansia, berberine, green tea, and Korean ginseng. It's designed to activate your body's natural GLP-1 pathways, helping you feel fuller, digest better, and stay energized, all without stimulants. It's vegan-friendly, gluten-free, and crafted in a GMP-certified facility with zero artificial ingredients. Clean, safe, and built for real results. If you're ready to transform your health, your body, scan the QR code on your screen or click the special link below to grab GLP-1 XLR8 at an exclusive discount price. Your wellness journey starts now.
Tonight's topic cuts deep and speaks truth. We're diving into the raw reality of toxic relationships, how they start, how they trap us, and most importantly, how we break free. These aren't just dramatic stories or cautionary tales. They're lived experiences that shape our mental health, our self-worth, and our ability to trust again. Whether it's a partner, a friend, or even family, toxicity can wear many masks. But tonight, we're unmasking it. We'll explore the signs, the emotional toll, and the healing journey that follows. This isn't just about walking away. It's about walking toward clarity, peace, and power. So if you've ever felt stuck, silenced, or unsure, stay tuned. Word on the Streets is bringing the truth, the tools, and the transformation. Let's get into it. Greetings, and welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't miss out. After a week full of noise, confusion, and constant distractions, this is the show that cuts through the clutter. It's the hour of the week where real talk meets real truth. We bring conversations that challenge the status quo and stir something deeper in the soul. This isn't just commentary, it's clarity, purpose, and elevation. When you tune in, you're not just watching, you're waking up. A place where common sense still matters and lives. So ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, this is the world premiere Word on the Streets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your hearts and hands together for the man who discovered his purpose and lives it loud, Larry Extraordinaire Moten, and the motivator born to ignite minds and shift atmospheres, the amazing Keith Fletcher, and the man who brings clarity to the chaos with the voice of reason you can't ignore, the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. Make no mistake, there is no word without our host. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to the message. Welcome to the world premiere, Word on the
Street. And good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to World Premiere Word on the Streets. I am extraordinaire, along with the one and only. Friends, you all know him. Y'all know him. The one and only, the amazing Mr. Keith Fletcher. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome. Friends, the amazing Keith Fletcher need no introduction. But in case you don't know who he is, Keith Fletcher have his own show called The Blind Truth. You can catch him live on Facebook every weekday, Monday through Sunday. He go live about 4 or 5 times a week. So if you haven't checked in on the amazing Keith Fletcher, you are missing out. But look, we're happy you here on World Premiere Word on the Streets, because I can guarantee you your last bottom dollar, you're going to catch him every Thursday at 7:30, and tonight 7 o'clock p.m. every Thursday on the world premiere Word on the Streets. We're so glad to have the amazing Keith Fletcher friends. Now I know you all thinking, Fletcher, we know they thinking we're missing somebody. And y'all absolutely correct. The man with the golden voice, Mr. Vincent Craig. Hopefully, he's gonna show up sometime during this episode. He's having some challenging situation outside of this scheduled time, but he did assure us he's gonna do his during his best to join us. So if he's not here now, just keep your finger crossed. I'm certain he will show up before the show is over with. In any case, we want to give y'all some love right back at y'all. Fletcher and I are gonna get this episode on the road. Hey Fletcher, how you doing, my brother?
I'm all right. Oh, Vince didn't want to come because them Cowboys lost. You know what I'm saying? He had to deal with that. He want to take the day off on purpose because he didn't want to talk about that loss. But we gonna forgive
That
him.
is true.
Yeah,
That is true. You guys had a little wager on that.
yeah. We gonna, but it's all good. But that was it's understandable. It's understandable. But he been going through that for a long time. So but I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. I know we starting early, so I'm happy to be here. You know, I'm ready to give it in. Love doing our word on the street, word premiere. Love our fans, love our people in the chat. So we here, man. So yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. We love our people in the chat room who shows up every show. La Diana, Selena, we thank y'all so very much. You all have no idea how much y'all mean to us, holding it down in the chat room and just supporting us show after show. We really value you and appreciate you more than you know. As you all know, friends, in the last show, we talked about being enough, feeling like you're just not enough. And that conversation went on, and towards the end, we was driving down the road about not feeling enough. So many people, listen, so many people walking around, going on the job, in their relationship, just living life, period, feeling like they're not enough. Now, you know, and then, not to belabor last show, but tonight we're talking about toxic relationships. Put those two together. Just think about it. You're feeling like you're not enough. Where are you getting that feeling from? Are you getting some type of resolution in your relationship, or are you feeling even more like you're not enough when you go home? When you go home to your significant other, you thought you didn't feel like you weren't enough. Now you really know you're not enough in a lot of people cases. Some people, some people become workaholic. Y'all ever heard that term before? Workaholic. And we say, man, that guy, that lady, all they do is work. They just stay on the job. Have you ever considered maybe they stand on that job because where they leave, when they leave that job and where they go is so dysfunctional, so uncomfortable that they'll rather be working on the job. Mm. Fletcher, let's talk about this thing called toxic relationship.
It's so much with that toxic man relationship. Is I was talking to somebody about that. About relationships and the difference in I call it a transaction and transformation. You meet somebody and you have stipulation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all start getting together. You say what you want. He says what she want. It depends on what you want and what y'all asking for. It can be a transformation or it can be a transaction. And I don't think I think we don't know the difference between a transaction and transformation. And once both parties want to get what they want, and I think that transaction part, because when you transaction, it requires something, and when you don't get what you feel you got in that transaction, I think that's where it all falls apart. You know what I'm saying? So especially relationship. You know what I'm saying? You have these transaction things that you want in the relationship, and it's not clarified, and you going in there looking for something, asking for something, and one party don't get it, then I think it's called a problem. That's what I say. Instead of being, you know, how you come into a relationship, you like the word equally yoked. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to go hot deep, but I'm saying that you sit down, you come with some goals, dreams, aspirations. Both of y'all talking, and you trying to build on something, create something, grow to something. And when I think when one party don't get what they want, or the other party don't get what they want, and I think that's when it started being. And then, like I said, I get this thing about, you know, how you get with someone, they talking about you supposed to make somebody happy. I disagree with that. I think you got to have already your happiness. I have my happiness, and we come together. So I think a lot of people are going off with, like say, past trauma, and they think they're gonna get a relationship is gonna change when they never healed themselves from the first, from the get go period, or whatever case that is. I think that's caused a lot of problems also too. But I think a lot of people like we looking for a transaction. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a person want to get that feeling or they healing or whatever they want, and they're not getting it from that person, so they move on. And I think that's what a problem causes right there.
You know, this subject matter, toxic. That's a that really is a loaded word by itself. I think we all have been wrong around toxic people, like we call people that rob you of your energy instead of give you more energy. We all, and sometimes the people that we say the words "I love you" or we once said "I love you" become the most toxic place. And the reason why this subject matter is timely and timeless is because somebody somewhere is listening to us right now, is dealing with a situation that they thought they were in a safe relationship, and they thought things that they were, to use your word, it's a word that people I think learn uh, in maybe from the Christianity, that equally yoke, somebody who's similar background, someone that you think want what you want. Let's say y'all, you think you both are in sync, but as life be, the thing that make life such a mystery and so hard sometimes is that what you think is not what it is. It's like this. Sometimes people grow and they grow apart. Now, when you grow and your growth have given you desires for other things, other aspiration, and the other person at the time y'all both met, y'all both was in sync, but now you're no longer in sync because one has evolved and the other one has stayed still. Are you with me, Fletcher?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you feel me, bro?
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
And this happens now, my brother, in life. One have elevated. Not now. I don't want to, don't misunderstand me when I say elevate. Just one have grown to want other things, and the other one was happy with where they were. And they often want to bring you back to memory. Remember when? I know we all have heard that. Remember when? Remember when? And I remember when that was wonderful, but that was then. And so now, as the other person is evolving, that relationship become toxic. Talk to me, Fletcher. Pick it up. I don't want to eat up
I
all that. That's
I like what you're saying about like saying you start separating, but something before that, I try to go deeper than that before that. I know with me, I got married young, and me and my first wife, we had issues, not just with us, we had issues in our own, you know what I'm saying, inner selves, you know what I'm saying? Now speaking of her, I know I did, and and then throughout the relationship, we kept hurting each other. But I remember one time my wife now asked me, I stayed married for 15 years. She's like, why did you stay married that long when you knew, what I'm saying, it was over? When you caught up in that, obviously it was over years before that. Then you'd say, the first thing you said, well, I stayed because of my kids. He said, no, you didn't stay for your kids because you could have took care of your kids when y'all ain't together. The kids wouldn't even a part of it because y'all was always at it, breaking up and all that. And I'm sitting back looking at him like, yeah, why did I stay? You know what I'm saying? Why did I subject to her and do that to myself? You know what I'm saying? Staying in that situation when I knew it was a means to an end. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, I said, well, I never believed in divorce. You know what I'm saying? My belief, I didn't never want to, because my mom and dad got divorced, and I said I didn't want to be divorced. I was going to stay in, you know what I'm saying, and be there for my kids, be there for my, try to fight for it. But I didn't have the tools to fight. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the tools to deal with the toxic. I would try to deal with my own stuff that I had going on, and she had her stuff that was going on with her that she was dealing with, and I could not fix her, let alone fix me. You know what I'm saying? So, and then now we come together trying to build something together. We have no vision. We haven't sit down and communicate. Neither one of us getting really what we want. So it was just so much in that. You know what I'm saying? That relationship. But when I got older and I went to my next relationship, I knew the things to talk about. I knew the things that I wanted to address. And, a lot of communication in it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, went to counseling, doing, like, get me right. But it was a lot of fixing me instead of trying to make her happy or trying to heal her. Because I needed to heal myself. I needed to learn who I was. You know what I'm saying? So before all the stuff into getting to the relationship, I didn't know who I was, man, really to know. And I didn't know how to be a, a, a husband, a boyfriend, or nothing. Because, you know what I'm saying? I was just thinking, I'm a provider. I provide, I pay the bills, I bring food. You should be happy. You know what I'm saying, Chloe? But the other parts was a whole bunch of parts that I was missing from. And then I was dealing with college. Then my mother let other people come in our relationship they was already going through trauma. They had trauma too, and her mama had trauma, so they were coming in our relationship, and it was just a lot that we let in that we shouldn't have let in, that we didn't deal with up front. And I think if we'd have took that and went to counseling and dealt with our problems and did what we were going to have, we could have did marriage counseling, and she did her counseling, I did my own counseling, and then learn how to be a husband and wife, learn to go through a marriage and a relationship. But we wouldn't get what we wanted. We had no, and that's starting out young, you know what I'm saying? But when I got my second marriage, man, I had to, but I made some principles, like certain things that I was not going to do, certain things that I wasn't going to put up with, you know what I'm saying? And certain things that I was willing to give. And my second wife, we talked about that and discussed that. And we went to counseling multiple times. So it was a different way. But yeah, I had to heal me. And I think a lot of us, we say relationships, but man, it's deeper than that. I don't know if you say that. I just think it's so deep. Like my son now, he's in a relationship, and I'm like, man, take your time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much that you don't know. It's so much that you have no idea that you got to deal with. So that's what I would like to say. What Vince say, he went to pre-marriage counseling, pre-relationship. I won't tell anybody to do that, man, because it's so much that you got to deal with yourself, and then add somebody else to it.
You're absolutely right, Fletcher. And when you say, Fletcher, there's a lot of talk nowadays about self love. And I think self love is highly misunderstood. I really do.
Yeah.
Self love is not just taking a bubble bath, it's a whole lot more that goes into self love. Like, what I love it when you said, it was a lot of things about me that I needed to fix.
Mhm.
And see, self love, friends, a lot of time when we go into relationship, we go into relationship from the environment we grew up from. And In so many conservative backgrounds, such as my back, yes. But oh, I'm getting an echo. Go ahead on, Fletcher. Pick
I
up.
didn't hear. Yeah, I was talking about, like you said, like you said, brought up growing up. Now I was talking to a person about, different ways that we growing up. Like when I grew up with a big family. I got my uncles, aunties, grandmother, grandparents, cousins. All of us grew up. You know what I'm saying? And we was tight knit. You know what I'm saying? We helped each other. The neighborhood. But you'll meet some people had no family. Some people had nothing but women in their family, no men.
I don't know why we're getting an echo.
You hear echo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear it, but you might on your end. I don't hear echo.
Yes. Okay. Go right ahead. Hopefully,
You still hear it?
no. I don't hear it from you. It's got to be on my end. But go ahead on.
But yeah, but a lot of people come from their family, and I was talking about the transaction part. When you have family and have friends and people that are close, when you need help, it's so easy to talk to family, get help. Like I say, something. If I call my dad, call me. I call my dad, get my car fixed. Or I call my cousin, get this question. I have people around. But when you don't have friends or family like that, you're dealing with other people. You're dealing with transactions. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have no. I tell my sister-in-law, when you dating somebody, don't let no man know that you on the island by yourself. Because people thought it be transactions, start using you. So you got to call someone and ask them something. They looking for something. You know what I'm saying? Usually people are looking for that transaction. They want something back from that. But usually family, we got the right family. When I grew up, it was never a transaction. It was like help or transform. You know what I'm saying? And I think people get in a relationship. You go in a relationship, you want a man to save you, or he can help me pay bills, or he can help me with these kids, or he can take me out of poverty. And I think you're going the wrong way looking like that. And y'all even have a conversation. You looking one way thinking to be saved, or your kids, he coming in, he loving you, and then he thinking, well, he gonna love my kids, or my kids in my heart, but that man might not feel like right, that your kids grown, they 30 years old, you still saying kids, but they like, hey, they out the house, and you coming in thinking something gonna be one way and it be a whole other way. Like I said, and getting that understanding before it's so much tied into relationships, so much tied into trauma, how you was raised, like you said, how somebody was raised and how another person was raised. And you would bring that baggage with you and think that the other person supposed to fall in line to be understanding and they're not. And I think that's what we had a problem at right there with a lot of things too, short now.
Hey, hey, brother. Here's what I'm gonna do, friends. Y'all stay with us. I'm gonna end this and immediately restart another one. When we come back on, we're gonna be going to part two. Don't go anywhere.